Well, it's a gooey day today. Nice and drizzly. I did make it up the hill, but had to put it in four-wheel drive there. Well, I don't know if I had to, but I did anyways. So yeah, it's getting a little nasty around here. But I was able to park right here. It's not too terribly bad. I'm gonna try to burn that pile right there today. So I'm gonna start the 220, then see if I can start that edge right there where that dryer brush was piled up from the road clearing here. See if I can get a fire started there. There's really no wind today, so might do all right. So I don't want to have to go back to the truck and get the key for the dozer, but it's kind of in the way, so I'm going to see if I can just kind of pull it over here out of the way, because I'm going to try to, oh no, we won't, we're going to try to doze here. Good thing about these old cats, I'm going to back over my other rake back here behind me. They just kind of free roll here. Grab that with a thumb so we don't have a roll away here. Get that away from the fire just a little bit. I think that's adequate right there. A little farther away. And there's an excavator rake. So this fire is going pretty good now. I'm going to grab my bucket of diesel fuel and see if I can't start a fire over there. Get that second pile burning. I finally think I'm getting the second pile going here. Just trying to pick through this stuff. The bamboo actually seems pretty decent to get the fire going. You just got to be careful not to smother it out, because this stuff is broken up pretty bad and packed in here, and it's actually got a lot of leaves and dust and dirt that's now mud, so it's gonna have to kind of sit through here and pick through it. It does sound like little 22 shooting with the I guess the, you know, as it burns it pops. But it's not terrible because most of this is broken up pretty good from when we cleared it. See how kind of mangled up it is. Just got to kind of sit through here and pick through it and clean it up a little bit more. Stuff's very hard to sort through and get all the dirt out of. Some of those pine branches over there now and put on there. Kind of space it out a little bit so this stuff doesn't pack in there so tight. Bucket out of the way. Well, I'm not going to set bucket over. There we go. More better. So this is some stuff they pushed up yesterday. Let's see if I can grab it. Go ahead and put that on there. What that'll do is kind of space it out a little bit so that it doesn't smother itself out so bad. being branches and everything, kind of creates air pockets, and it does allow it to burn better. Get that piled up here and just kind of let that get to burning. We should be good to go here shortly. Stuff is pretty green, so it might not burn the greatest in the world. It'll burn, but I just got to get it hot first. It's going to take a little bit of time. Alright, I'm going to go down there and stack up the other pile while this one gets to going. Well, it definitely took some effort, and actually the only thing that got it going after a whole bucket full of diesel fuel was going up there and getting a grapple full of bamboo. Surprisingly, once that caught on fire, it actually started burning decent. So I went around there and got that stacked up on it. So I'm gonna let that get nice and hot and then start piling some of those stumps on there, because there's a bunch of stumps on the backside there that need to get in there. So yeah, making progress. Well, I'm gonna go grab some lunch. Kevin's here. He's gonna go back in the back and start doing some cutting. I'll be back later on to kind of restack all these piles. At least they are burning good. And I'll let them burn down here for 2 or 3 hours, come back and restack them this evening. Is that blue sky? Sunshine? Oh, it's gonna get humid. That just means we're probably gonna have thunderstorms later. Well, back over here this afternoon. Looks like the pile has burnt well. I'm gonna go over here with the excavator and the rake, get that restacked, and go up there and see what the second pile looks like. So I'm gonna take all this stuff and restack it a little closer. Grab some of these bigger stumps and drop them a couple times, get a little more dirt off of them, and throw all that back in the pile. I'll do a big pile of stumps right here and then throw some brush over top of it. Maybe that'll kind of get everything back going. There's definitely some big stumps right here, so get that piled up good and burning again. Just try to keep some of the smaller brush in there with them. Let's see if I can break this log in half. I think that was a hickory tree, so we may just lay this to the side. Then we'll lay it back on top when we're done. Trying to get all the paperwork done on some stuff. It's just been paperwork nightmare. Alright, let me figure out what's going on. So I was able to go through the pile there and get all the burnt stumps repiled. I'm going to grab this stuff here on the end and kind of pile it up closer to the fire. Like that great big stump right there is never going to burn way over here. So I need to get that closer to the heat, which is right there, by doing that. Get a few grapplefuls of this brush with some more stumps and just kind of plump it right there. That's probably, I think that big stump just rolled off the other side, but let's see when we go around over there. Grab some more of this brush. Just try to get this stuff a little more concentrated so that it can get some heat in it and start burning. Alright, well that side is good. We'll rake a couple more of these roots up and then go over here to the other pile. See Kevin's still cutting trees. He's doing something with the cutter now. I don't know if the chain got loose. And I'm going to stack up that other pile real quick. Well, the second pile actually burnt down a lot better than I was expecting. I guess the giant pile of bamboo was flammable. So I'm going to run around the edges now, grab all the stuff that did not burn, kind of get it piled back up, and kind of chase it over here towards these stumps a little bit. That way I can get a nice hot spot there, and then lay those stumps over on top of all this brush, and hopefully burn those up as well. Pick through this. This looks like this has got a little bit of dirt in it. Looks like Kevin's made pretty good progress on getting some trees cut down. Big pine tree coming down. This is going back up and get the next one. Well, we're sending some smoke clouds now. Kevin kind of cleaned up all that mess right there, and I just grabbed it, threw it on the fire, so he was able to cut all of that this afternoon. Got that down on the ground, ready to drag down here and process tomorrow. And I have gotten both piles burn up really well, so I'll let that sit there and burn down tonight, and I'll come back over here in the morning and kind of sort through this stuff and restack it, and hopefully they'll get some stuff cleaned up, and maybe I can stump some more or go work on the other clearing project. Well, I'm back over here first thing this morning. Looks like the pile's burnt down really nicely there. I'm gonna take the 220 and I'm just gonna leave the 350 parked until it dries out some, because I don't want the undercarriage of that to be packed slam full of mud like this one. So one machine filthy muddy is enough. So this stuff will dry out in a day or so and we can continue on. They're going to come over here this morning, finish dragging, well, get everything that he cut down yesterday up here processed, and maybe it dries out enough they can get a log truck tomorrow. We'll just have to wait and see. If not, there's always next week. So I'm gonna get those piles restacked and burning and see what else I can do here today. Kind of sorting through the old ash pile here, pulling out the stumps that were in the center and didn't burn because they got smothered in dirt and ashes. So a lot of times that'll happen, is you'll put some big stumps here in the center, and as the pile burns, the ashes fall down and it actually 100% smothers it out. And I've actually pulled stuff out of the center of a pile, kind of like this one right here, and it's barely even burnt. But the good thing is, you see it steaming, how hot it got. It did dry out a lot. So I'm gonna take this big stump, put it right here on the pile. I'm kind of sitting in a hole, so I can't reach up as high as I should be able to. I'm gonna kind of go through here and rake these stumps out and ashes, not get engulfed here. There is that excavator bucket back here somewhere. Right there. I'm gonna back into that. Kind of sort through this stuff right here and finish getting all of this piled up and burning down. Then all I have to do is kind of clean these ashes up, but can't do that until we have a spot to take them to, and I don't know where we're going to take them to just yet. Being that he's going to turn this into farm land, we might just take them and rake them out on the ground. I'll ask him and see what he wants. He's going to put some sticks in the ground, but it might not be the end of the world. It might be some cheap nutrients towards this clay we got here. Just kind of break through them and get the big chunks of wood out and get that burnt, it might not be too bad. I'm gonna go ahead now and put this brush on there. And that's gonna pretty closely finish up this burn pile right here. I'll have to kind of come back around and round up all the ends and stuff, but I'm not going to add anything else to this one, so we can kind of get this cleaned up. Ta-da! Alright, let me finish cleaning this up and I'll go stack the other. So I was able to get these two piles restacked, burning well, and I went back to the back, kind of raked through all that where the bamboo was and got that mess piled up. They're over here getting everything cut up and skidded up here. It is a just muddy wet mess. So I've got to run, go look at a couple other things, so I'm gonna let them have at it. I'm gonna fuel this thing up and grease it before I leave, and might end up working on the other clearing job. We'll see.